I think just about every Miraculous Ladybug fan can agree with me on the statement of what has happened to this show. And no, I don't mean anything considering the show's production. Miraculous Ladybug has actually been very consistent with their seasons. No, I mean something more important, the plot. Again, what happened? If you're a little lost, let's go ahead and recap first. Miraculous Ladybug is a magical girl slash superhero French-based American cartoon that premiered on Nickelodeon and is now even streaming on sites such as Netflix. MLB's first episode came out December 20, 2015, and began the adventures of Marinette Dupain-Cheng, a clumsy, awkward girl who dreams of becoming a fashion designer. Marinette shows kindness and compassion to an old man, thinking nothing of her actions other than it was just a good deed. Little does Marinette know that this old man is actually the keeper of a very powerful secret. He is the keeper of little magical objects called Miraculouses. These objects vary in size from everyday jewelry such as earrings, rings, brooches, pendants, and more. And this keeper of the Miraculouses, Master Fu, deems Marinette worthy of becoming the next superhero known as Ladybug. Marinette finds this mysterious box in her room, and when she opens it, she discovers a pair of earrings. Suddenly, a small fairy-like bug creature appears before her, startling the young teenager. The creature's name is Tiki, and she's a Kwami, the respective source power of the earrings, aka the Miraculous of Creation. Marinette then takes on the form of the responsible and quick-witted Ladybug, along with another hero, her partner, named Cat Noir. Just like Ladybug, Cat Noir is a superhero assumed by another teenager named Adrien Agreste. Adrien comes from a rich family, his father being the most famous fashion designer in France, Gabriel Agreste. Adrien has always only ever wanted to please his family, doing any modeling job he was asked of. When we learn his mother has been missing, presumed to be dead, causes a bigger rift between his father and Adrien. And when he becomes Cat Noir, finally Adrien's able to be his true self. Cat Noir is bratty, flirty, and one of the biggest jokesters, while Adrien is much more reserved and perfect. Now that you know what the show is about, let's talk about some of the bad writing plots. We have bad love triangle writing, no villain ever gets redeemed, the slow pacing, strange character developments, and where the heck is Cat Noir's involvement? Now, if you've been following this show for a while, you know all about the love triangle. Marinette likes Adrien. Adrien, aka Cat Noir, likes Ladybug, aka Marinette, who likes Adrien. It's honestly one big mess as the characters both like each other, but they just can't reveal their superhero identities to each other, and they won't know it for a while. And that, my friends, is where the bad writing begins. Now, don't get me wrong, I like a good secret identity trope, but it has to be done right, and I'm really sad to say that Miraculous did not do it justice. Marinette and Adrien do have potential, and we see that. They get along fine as superheroes. As Ladybug, Marinette cherishes Cat Noir's partnership, but doesn't see him as a romantic adversary, even though that he is the boy that she secretly loves. This boy that I secretly love. As Adrien, he doesn't know his classmate and good friend Marinette is his strong-tempered love, Ladybug. And in hindsight, it seems like a good ship, but the problem here is the god-awful amount of times they get together and get their memories erased. Get together again, and get their memories erased again. This is the problem. The show is just baiting us at this point. From what we know about Marinette and Adrien, or Ladybug and Cat Noir, as seen in Season 4, is in fact, they do work as a couple. This is one of the many times that the writers allow us to catch a glimpse as the audience of the ship. And honestly, I think what they're trying to do was really good. They showed us that these characters cannot be together until the big bad of the series, Hawkmoth, or Adrien's dad, is defeated. I think that this is actually a good plot point because it emphasizes just why these two cannot reveal their identities and cannot be together right now. No, the problem is the amount of times that they have done this to us. This would be a great storyline to add in once, but no. Adrien and Marinette have revealed their identities and gotten their memories wiped so many times and have had so many close calls that it's straight up annoying at this point. Teasing your audience with the ship's development is a good thing. It really can hone in the show and can really build tension for the big reveal, but this show keeps on teasing and teasing and teasing. Now with the addition as Luca as Viperion, the power of second chance being able to reset time, this bad writing plot has only gotten worse. And just to add this in, I know a lot of viewers have had a lot of opinions and mixed feelings about Luca and Kagami being added into this already pre-existing ship. Marinette tries to move on from Adrien and begins dating Luca, while Adrien tries to move on from Ladybug and begins dating Kagami. These ships do not last. They only leave both Luca and Kagami brokenhearted. I see many fans wanting Marinette to end up with Luca, kind of myself included, but to be fair, I do hope she ends up with Adrien just because he's the main, love interest of the show. Simply because of how long it takes for this girl to have a proper conversation with Adrien. I do like that the writing tried to explore characters trying to find new romantic interests because, again, from what we've seen, our two main characters just cannot be together right now. It's reasonable for teens to want to find relationships and have crush dilemmas, but the amount of love triangles and lack of change is just boring. Nothing ever changes for this couple. They're just constantly in a never-changing loop. Next, we need to talk about the villains, more so about their lack of redemption. The villains in Miraculous Ladybug never seem to learn their lesson, especially villains like our favorite Queen Bee, Chloe. The way the writers have ruined Chloe's character infuriates me. Chloe is your typical rich and stuck-up popular girl. She's spiteful to her classmates and also causes a lot of trouble, but at one point, it seemed like we were starting to break through her mean girl facade. In the middle of season 2, Chloe actually seems to start trying to be nicer, siding with Ladybug and becoming the superhero Queen Bee. This Miraculous, though, is later taken from her as Chloe ends up betraying Ladybug and sides with Hawkmoth after bragging about her powers and continuing to cause drama. The girl is just spoiled, and she can't accept that she's miserable and lonely. If they wanted Chloe to be redeemed, then they should have saved her arc until the end because she had such a miserable existence in this entire show. Trying to redeem characters halfway through the show was such a weird choice. Like I said, Chloe isn't evil. She just doesn't understand that she can't always get her way and she deserves to be redeemed.
Ridiculous! Utterly ridiculous!
Chloe is not a bad person. She just wants love and attention because it's something that she doesn't get at home. Her mom is always away and, frankly, a snobby bitch. Her father, the mayor, is just weak and gives her whatever she wants. Lila, on the other hand, not so much. Lila is a character that first appeared at the end of season 1 and has been a minor antagonist throughout. Personally, I think that Lila would have benefited coming into the show as a villain halfway through instead of being brought in at the beginning. When Lila was first introduced, she was actually a bigger threat than Chloe even. Lila is still a character that we don't know a whole lot about considering she might not even be who she says she was. Lila at one point had become the superhero Vulpix, but like Chloe, her Miraculous was taken away by Ladybug for betraying her. She was once a very big threat to our heroes along with the series' main villain Hawkmoth, but now she's just kinda there, only popping in when she needs some more drama. She could have been such a good villain or sidekick to Hawkmoth if she was just written better.
The war is only just starting. Be ready.
And lastly, for the villains, I want to talk about Hawkmoth. Gabriel Agreste wasn't necessarily a bad person to begin with. The reason he turned to the dark side is because his wife Emily had become comatose after the two used the Miraculouses. Emily's the peacock had broken and caused her to become unresponsive. Gabriel, with the butterfly Miraculous, had become obsessed with the mission to revive his wife. He wanted to take both the Miraculous of creation and destruction so that he could make a wish to bring his wife's health back. This is the reason for wanting to take Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculous in the first place. I mean, we all guessed who Hawkmoth was before the big reveal. But seriously, how have they not used any logic yet to figure out who Hawkmoth is? Like, come on. The character is not just, track where the butterflies are coming from. Genuinely, Hawkmoth is just a weak and honestly cliche villain. He routinely formulates the weakest and most simple plans of making others do his own bidding. We hardly ever see Hawkmoth actually leave his lair and go do something. That's usually a big episode for this series. At least in season 4, we see him attempting to change tactics with Natalie, his new assistant and new holder of the Peacock Miraculous. It's taken him so long to start at least trying a new tactic, and honestly, it's just gotten boring. Hawkmoth is now desperate and deranged. And I will say, after watching the new Miraculous movie, the series has so much potential. The movie obviously had to be faster paced since it was taking roughly 4 to 5 seasons and making them into a 1-ish hour movie. The new movie really shows the series' wasted potential. In my opinion, I do feel like they kind of drug the show out for clout. This series, especially around season 1 to 2, was extremely popular. I got into Miraculous Ladybug because of fan art and fan comics, even watching cosplayers make skits in costume. There was so much hype around the series when it first came out, and it's really sad to see just how the fans have become so disappointed. Yes, this is a kids show, but because it's a show targeted for kids and young teens, that doesn't mean that you can just skimp out on the story plot. And let me make this clear, I'm not trying to be mean to the writers or say that they don't have talent, but genuinely, the best way to improve any work is to listen to your audience. You can't please everyone, but also just don't ignore your fans. Speaking of don't ignore your fans, the creator Thomas Ostruck has also been in some controversy. From what I found online, he was said to have blocked fans and have been rude to fans on Twitter. On one hand, I completely understand blocking fans who might be trolling you or being rude first, but as a creator, especially of a kids show, you do need to keep your audience in mind. I've seen a lot of fans say that he blocks fans who critiques the series, and like I said, you can't please everyone, but genuinely, it is best to listen to your audience. I mean, look at what happened to Voltron because they didn't listen to their audience. Tragic. One of the things I've seen and have honestly come to agree on is about Adrien. Adrien as a character is just perfect. Perfect student, perfect model, perfect son. Adrien has no real goals in his life as seen in season 4, episode 18. The school is having a career day. Adrien only wants to make his family, now just his father, proud and hasn't thought of what he wants to do aside from his life. Adrien only wants to make his family, now just his father, proud and hasn't even thought of what he wants to do with his own life. Adrien does have flaws. He honestly might be the most broken character in the show aside from Gabriel. Unlike his father who grieves with rage, Adrien grieves in silence. No one can know he isn't perfect. I really wish they would have let us have more moments with Adrien having real emotions. The only time we ever really see him upset is when Ladybug is involved. In season 4, he literally quits being Cat Noir because he feels so left out of the new superhero team because his partner Ladybug is managing just fine by herself.
You need to de-transform. What? Until I de-akumatized him, I can't leave you with your cataclysm. It's too risky. But I can help.
And this is also another topic that I want to talk about, which is the lack of Cat Noir in the adventures of Ladybug and Cat Noir. I know that Ladybug is the main protagonist of the series, and we follow main character Marinette, but seriously, Cat Noir is never involved regarding the Miraculouses. This is something that I actually really did enjoy about the writing. In season 4, we do see how lost and angry Marinette becomes when she is made the keeper of the Miraculouses. She's just a teenager, and now she's been entrusted with this ancient device full of powerful creatures, and this big bad guy is trying to take it from her. One wrong move and everything that she's been fighting for would be lost forever. She's stressed and alone, even going as far as to break up with Luca because she feels guilty that she has a secret that she can't tell him. It makes perfect sense that she'd be angry and lonely. This eventually leads Marinette to telling her secret to her best friend Alia. And I do think telling Alia was in fact a good choice, as we know she cares deeply for Marinette and also holds a deep respect for Ladybug. But I also feel like Cat Noir should have had more of a role regarding the Miraculouses, and especially with the Keeper and the Guardian. He is in the title. It's Ladybug and Cat Noir's adventure. Ladybug and Cat Noir are partners in this, and Ladybug should have been confiding in her partner. She is one of the reasons why Cat Noir decides to quit in the first place, because he feels so left out. Ladybug does not have to do this on her own. If she had confided in her actual partner to begin with, maybe the series would have had a different turnout. Like I've already said, these are just a few of my own personal feelings about Miraculous Ladybug. And like I said, I'm not saying this to be mean. I genuinely have so much love for the show, and I don't want to see another show go down the Voltron gutter, because trust me, it hurts when something that you love is ruined because of bad writing. Anyway, let me know if you feel the same or different. How do you think the writers can improve the show? Feel free to share your thoughts and opinions down below. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and check out my gaming channel if you like other magical girl stuff. We play magical girl games over there sometimes. But anyway, that's gonna be it for me today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!